All right, y'all, welcome back to Camp Shack Productions. Today I am here at Harbor Tool and Freight. We are getting ready to do a $100 or less camping challenge. I'm going to try to get everything I need to go camping from Harbor Freight here. So let's go inside and check it out. This will handle two of our things. We'll get lights and bug zapper all at once. That should help. All these tarp choices. I think that will work. Paint supplies. I was hoping there would be a survival knife, but there's not here. Alright, heading to the checkout. Let's see how this goes. Gonna have to go to another Harbor Tool and Freight. Alright, y'all, welcome back to Camp Shack Productions. Today I am going to try a Harbor Tool and Freight survival challenge. I'm gonna see if I have the supplies I need to spend the night up here in the Uintas and cook. However, when it comes to the cooking, we do have some fire restrictions. So I'll have to explain that a little bit later, but this is what I found to cook. Not bad. I also found a tarp that is 7 feet by 9 feet. This thing is going to be my cover. And then there was a moving blanket, which I can also use as a sound blanket later on. This is going to be my warmth for the night. Hopefully it will be enough. Inside of here, I also have the Harbor Tool and Freight survival knife, which pretty stoked about that. What a piece of junk, I'm sure. This is the Harbor Tool and Freight lantern bug zapper, so I'm pretty stoked to check that thing out tonight. I got some paracord, just some cordage that I can tie things with throughout the night. And then I also got some glow-in-the-dark paracord because, you know, it glows in the dark. And then the main piece of this is the Harbor Tool and Freight parachute hammock. I have never set up a hammock. I have never done anything like this. So we're going to set up a hammock, tie a ridge line, and get ourselves a place to sleep for the night. So let's see how this goes. Yeah. So I have selected this for my camp spot. I'm going to utilize this tree here. And I'm going to come to this tree over here. Hopefully you can still see me. But that is the set of trees that I'm planning on using to hang the hammock. So hopefully this will work. Let's give it a shot. All right, so now I've got my tarp or my hammock. It's set, it's all good. As you can see, it is getting busier and busier. In fact, I have some new neighbors. So what I'm gonna try to do, full disclosure, I got this survival knife about 1.5 years ago. Every Harbor Tool and Freight I went to, which was 3, everyone within a 50-mile radius of me did not have this. So I hope it's at least sharp enough to cut the paracord. It's also got some supplies that I can use to light my fire. We'll talk about that later as well, but they were out of this. The other thing that they were out of at all 3 stores were the stake sets that I have. I've also bought those. It's 6 stakes for $2.99. They're just steel pegs. So those are 2 things that I already had, but I would have bought to bring my total up to about $87 for everything to get through this. So I am going to take this knife. I have my paracord right here, which will be what I use to tie my ridgeline and also stake off this tarp, which is what I'm going to use tonight because I can see clouds moving in. Again, I told you it's busy. There's a lot of people showing up here all of a sudden. There was nobody here when I got here. It's getting really, really crazy. So this tarp right here, this paracord, do a ridge line, and then I will actually press it knot off the ends and pull out a diamond shape and stake in the ends to hopefully give me the rain cover and shade that I will need. So let's get into that. What do you say, yo? All right, y'all, I'll give you a quick little tour of my shelter. So I did add some bug netting. I had it. The bugs are really bad. It is not part of the harbor tool and freight deal. But everything else that is used is the hammock is harbor tool and freight. The tarp is I think, $3 harbor tool and freight. And inside of there, I have a harbor tool and freight moving blanket. So overall, not a bad setup for under $100 and easily used. Looks like we might get a little weather. So I'm kind of curious to see if this will actually work in the rain or if I need a bigger tarp. I would probably recommend like a 10-foot by 10-foot tarp for sure, but for I think the tarp was $2.99, not a bad deal at all, and just pretty sweet in there, right? So harbor tool and freight, it'll work if you wanted to. Wonder what the sunset's gonna do. What a beautiful place, huh? All right, now that camp is set up, shelter is built, I'm going to follow my buddy Steve Wallace's plan and go for a step 2. This is an adult beverage for those of you that partake. For those of you that don't, grab a drink. Cheers. We made shelter, and not bad. I mean, I definitely could see this being an issue in a huge rainstorm. I would have to rework the tarp, but I figure overall for less than $100, I have a place to sleep. I have blankets. I have a tarp over my head. Things are looking pretty good. So cheers, my friends. Nothing better than a beer out camping. This is pretty sweet. Again, like I said, I think I might raise one end a little bit more. But if it rains, I'm going to want to button this thing down pretty close. So I'm going to just play with it a little bit and hang out, drink beer, get ready to cook some dinner. So tonight I bought a paint strainer to use as a grill top. Here in Utah right now, we are under extreme fire danger. There are like this many wildfires burning all over the state right now. It's a mind-blowing thing. So I am going to not light a fire, and I am going to use just my propane grill. But I'll put the grate over that and it will simulate a fire. And tonight we're having steak and corn on the cob. So it should be delicious, not bad. Everything worked. The paracord was great. The tarp is gonna be good. I feel like I'm getting a shade block. Again, it's nice because by having this tarp, I have a place to sit down and kind of hang out. So overall, success. Cheers, my friends. Now, just hang out and wait until either the storm rolls in or it's time to cook. So check in with you guys in a little while. Peace. All right, y'all. It is time now to start cooking dinner. It's about 6 o'clock. I want to make sure that I don't have any problems. So, like I said before, there's extreme fire danger here in Utah. So, no fires. And I want to make sure that I don't light anything on fire. So I just brought my little grill from home. I disassembled the handle And what I have here is that paint grater from Harbor Tool and Freight, and I'm going to use that as my grill. So if it was in the fire, this would just sit over the coals, same. So what I'm going to do is I have steaks and I have corn, and I'm going to drop those on here, and then I'm going to use my knife. I did bring a fork and a steak knife from home because all of us have those. I also have a plate. That's all stuff you can grab from the kitchen, so I didn't feel like I was breaking the rules with Harbor Tool and Freight. But that is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to start cooking. Wish me luck. All right, y'all. So I am going to start with the corn just because it's going to take longer to cook than my steaks. And I figure this will also let me test the food safetiness of this grill piece here. So I've got the corn on, and I'm going to leave it on for probably about 10-12 minutes or so. So yeah, corn. All right, guys, so tonight I'm going to cook a steak. I have the corn on the grill, but we're not savages, right? So this is one of the cooler things that I've done. This is an old DOP kit or toiletry kit, and I've decked it out so that I can hang it. And it's got all my spices, my cleaning supplies, and down here are some extra condiments like hot sauce, things like that. So when I put this steak on, I'll have the ability to give it a little garlic powder, a little seasoned salt, and a little black pepper. So this is a really cool little idea. I've enjoyed being able to DOP kit this for sure. All right, so you can see I got the corn, and I keep hearing it pop, so I'm hoping I'm not having popcorn. But I am going to throw one of these on. Ooh, that sizzle, sizzle. So, a little seasoned salt. A little garlic powder. Hopefully my microphone's on. Oh, see, did you hear that? Popcorn. And a good dose of black pepper. We'll let this sit on for probably about 4 minutes on each side, and then we'll flip it. So, steaks and corn. Now that I've adjusted my camera angle a little bit, it is time to flip the steak. And to do that, I'm going to use my handy dandy gigantic survival knife from Harbor Tool and Freight. This is also a welding glove. I think these are like $4 from Harbor Tool and Freight. One of the best camping investments I have ever made. Yeah, it's sticking. Let's just move those out of the way. Ooh, look at that. Huh? It's a good looking steak, right? Harbor Freight. Thank you, knife. Probably about 3 more minutes and that thing will be done. And then while that, I'll cook my other steak for tomorrow night's dinner, so that way I don't have to cook a steak tomorrow night. I can just slice it up. We're gonna do some egg fried steak rice. It's gonna be delicious. So about 3 minutes. Yeah. All right. It is definitely time to get that steak off the grill. So I'm gonna prove to you, this is the Harbor Tool and Freight worked great. It'd work awesome over coals. I am, however, for my second steak, gonna switch to the regular grill top, mostly just so I can break it in a little bit. But yeah, does it work? Yes, it does. So, with a little bit of effort, we have corn on the cob, a delicious looking steak, and another corn on the cob. So yeah, a little bit of work and you get corn on the cob and a delicious steak. And this is by far the best restaurant in town. Huh? All right, y'all. This is where I'm gonna be sleeping tonight. Right in my cozy little hammock. Ooh. All right, so I have my blanket, and I actually have another fleece blanket that I brought from home because, again, some we'd all have, just because I have no idea how cold it's going to get tonight. But I am hanging, chilling in my hammock, rocking back and forth, and I am going to get ready to lay down. So let's see what happens with the very first lay down. I'm definitely going to have to slide up a little bit, but not bad. I've got that blanket underneath me. I think that's going to be the best move, to just try to keep the wind down, but overall, pretty sweet little setup. I got my little light up there, and once I figure out how to shift up a little bit, which I think is just where I place myself when I get in, I'll be good to go. So I also have my bug netting that will go over and keep us hopefully somewhat bug free. And I'm gonna crash, I think. Time for bed. I'm gonna go to the bathroom, get a drink, and then I'm gonna try to time lapse the night with the GoPro. We'll see if that works. Fingers crossed. All right, y'all. Hope you enjoyed this so far. It's working. I'll let you know if it actually works tomorrow morning. Be well, my friends. Sleep well. All right. Good morning, y'all. It was a interesting night for sure. I did not end up making it all the way through the night in the hammock. Not because it wouldn't work, not because I got wet or anything like that. I don't know if I set it up wrong or what, but my body was just bending, and I woke up after about 2 hours and my neck and knees and back were super, super sore. So I don't know if it's because I set it up incorrectly. I don't know what the deal was. It is definitely, I mean, it's very doable. I can see why people like this. I don't know if I need something that's wider so I can lay more diagonal. But overall, it would have worked. The Harbor Freight blanket, which I put underneath me, was awesome. It kept me warm, like kind of like an underquilt, and then I just had a fleece blanket on top. And I was cozy. You know, I had my jacket on and everything like that, but overall, can totally be done. So not a bad little setup for under $100 for sure. I could see this being something viable, and if you like a hammock and you like camping in one, I'm gonna mess around with it for the rest of the trip here and just kind of play with it, adjust it, see if, like I said, if it's something I did wrong or if it's just the fact that my body's like, no hammocks for you. But overall, not bad, not a bad way to go. So Harbor Tool and Freight can be done. You can use the hammock, you can use the tarp, you can use the paracord, you can use the paint mixer, the paint strainer grill for a grill. It was awesome. I mean, overall, this worked out really well. So Harbor Tool and Freight can be done. Yes, sir. All right, my friends. Hey, if you like this video, please do us a huge favor and hit that like button and subscribe. It really helps our channel and it really helps us grow, and we want to keep giving you good content. So I hope you enjoyed this. Be well, my friends. This is my little Harbor Tool and Freight camp. I did add the bug netting, that didn't come. I got that off Amazon, but everything else, Harbor Tool and Freight. Sweet little setup. Not bad at all.